Well, after tonight, will Joe Calzaghe finally be accepted as a true world champion, or will he need to cross the Atlantic? Much depends on his performance here against Charles Brewer.
It is time for the feature of the evening. Get ready to welcome
Charles Brewer entering hostile territory. You can hear the boos beginning. He said he's been looking forward to this since 1998. Here he comes in front of the American flags. The former IBF super middleweight champ with 3 defenses. Since that wild fight with Eccles, 1-0, outpointing a nondescript opponent over 6 months ago. He's going to milk this as the crowd gets it on. Well, aside from age, the many wars, the notion that Philly fighters are notorious for leaving into the gym, can he deal with Calzaghe's hand speed, pinpoint accuracy, and power in light of his tenuous chin? Also, he had to lose weight fast. We'll wonder if that's a factor as well, Bobby.
You know what? He said after speaking with him, he's trained. He had southpaws from 140 pounds speed to 220 for strength. Many of them very accurate, very tough. But what you can't train for, you can't prepare or improve, is your chin. That's the big question here. I'm sure he's in shape. I'm sure he's ready to go. It's a matter of, does his chin hold up, and can he be effective offensively?
Yeah, remember, more recently dropped by Antoine Eccles, thought to be a blown-up super middleweight. The fans here in the UK may best know Brewer for beating one of their beloved fighters, Harold Graham, perhaps the greatest British boxer never to win a world title. And now the crowd on his feet, getting ready for Joe Calzaghe. High anticipation for Calzaghe, and there he is. The champion, the southpaw, who receives the star treatment here in his backyard of Cardiff. He is revered. Fights or rivalries, his biggest opportunity to make a huge splash. Joe Calzaghe in the ring. Bobby, finally, it's his chance to put up or shut up.
Well, you know what? This is not the defining fight that Joe Calzaghe is looking for. Brewer with 8 losses won't have that much credit to be given his way because it's just not going to be. He's not a big name. He needs the big name. But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned and a fighter with something to prove. And Brewer's got something to prove.
He predicts a KO in 5, does Calzaghe. Brewer also promised a knockout, but didn't specify the round. Calzaghe 2 years younger than the 32-year-old Brewer. The height is even. biggest disparity in reach. Huge 8-inch advantage for the challenger. At yesterday's weigh-in, both came in under, but Brewer needed 2 attempts to make weight. And the key rules for this world title fight: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight is ruled a technical draw. If it happens after the end of 4, they go to the scorecard. As they sing and chant here in the Cardiff International Arena, we're getting ready for our main event. Joe Calzaghe and Charles Brewer for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. The official introductions from the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, live and exclusive on Sky Sports across the UK, and to our boxing fans joining us around the world, we welcome you to the International Arena here in the beautiful city of Cardiff, Wales. It is time for the featured bout of the evening, and it's all brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network in association with Showtime and Red Square. This bout coming away, ladies and gentlemen, is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. The president is Francisco Valcárcel. Supervisor at ringside is Charles Giles, along with the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Lord Brooks of Tremorfa. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Rouen, France, Robin Dolpierre. From London, England, Roy Francis. And from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States, Chuck Jompa. And our referee in charge of this bout, working in this his 21st world title bout, from St. Paul, Minnesota in the United States, Mark Nelson. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, from Cardiff, Wales, it is showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger. On my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, joining us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the United States. He weighed in at 11 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, or 167 3/4 U.S. pounds. His record stands at 37 wins, 8 losses, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the number 6 super middleweight in the world by the WBO. Please welcome the former IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Charles the Hatchet Brewer. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of Newbridge, South Wales. His weight the same as his opponent, 11 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, 167 3/4 U.S. pounds, undefeated in his campaign in the ring, 32 wins, no losses, 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making the 10th defense of his title, here is the undefeated WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Joe Calzaghe. Once again, our referee in charge, Mark Nelson, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled.
All right, Joe, step back, gentlemen. Charles, you've already received your instructions in the dressing room for the WBO Super Middleweight title. You know exactly what I expect, a clean championship fight. Just obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Obey the bell. Any questions from Mr. Calzaghe's chief second? Mr. Brewer's? Touch gloves, good luck to both of you.
An amazing atmosphere here in this arena, one of nationalism and pride. At times it is deafening. It is not a great division, but will it be a great fight? Brewer said he's going to come out and try to knock Calzaghe out. He does not. want this to go to the judges. Calzaghe will look to put on an impressive show for the American TV audience. Will he be over anxious, too eager to please his hometown fans as the singing starts and the belting starts for Calzaghe?
Nice little right hand on the inside by Brewer, but you can see that Calzaghe already has Charles Brewer a little hesitant. Right now, both guys very tense. You can see it in their bodies.
Calzaghe with power, particularly in his left. Brewer with power in both hands. But as we pointed out time and time again, the chin on Brewer is questionable. Both look to get right to it. The southpaw Calzaghe going to the body. Back comes Brewer to the
Watch your
head.
heads.
Fighting on the inside.
Beautiful left hook by Charles Brewer. Caught Calzaghe very clean. Shook him up a little bit.
And they are going at it. Trading away.
The feeling out process is now over.
Complete. It took a little over a minute.
Calzaghe laying a good straight left hand.
Watch
there.
your heads.
Right on Brewer's chin. No bad effects.
A roundhouse left aimed at the right ear of Brewer. That was blocked.
Charles Brewer said that he can't win these rounds by a little bit. He has to dominate the rounds. He doesn't believe he can win a decision here.
Calzaghe landing with a left hook to the ear. Calzaghe seems to have the better hand speed. And he is very accurate. He's a sharpshooter. Calzaghe just walked into a straight right.
And landed a good counter right hook, too. He shook Brewer up with that right hand.
Watch your heads, guys. Get your heads out of there.
Mark Nelson, the third man, warning them about the heads with a southpaw and the angles. It's going to happen. Here's Calzaghe opening up.
He hurt Brewer, but Brewer came back nicely with a right hand and two lefts to the body. But he staggered Brewer.
A good flurry by Joe Calzaghe.
Punch out. Break. I got it. Don't punch.
Near the end of the round.
Good job, guys.
Calzaghe stuffing the jab.
Get out of there. Break. I got it. Good job.
A lot of action in the first round. As expected. Two punchers. Wild flailing by Brewer. Calzaghe jumps on Brewer. The bell, they don't even hear it.
Great round for both fighters. Slight edge to Calzaghe. Early in the round, Calzaghe being pretty effective on the inside. A nice right hook and an uppercut, followed by a nice combination of 5 or 6 punches. That's where he staggered Brewer a little bit. Got Charles Brewer's attention immediately. Toward the end of the round, they don't want to stop punching. Brewer loading up, you see him missing wildly, and now kind of holding his head out there. He holds on, but they punch well after that bell sound. Then round 1.
Round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. An all-action first round, as Bobby pointed out, perhaps a slight edge to the champion. Calzaghe wearing the black with the white trim. Brewer in the white with the red trim.
And Calzaghe's corner was furious with him for fighting what they said was Brewer's fight. Don't give him a chance to win. Fight your fight.
Get out of there. Punch out. Break. Don't punch. I got it. Here we go.
Brewer, a natural left-hander who fights in the conventional stance. His left is stronger than
Watch
his right.
your heads.
And with Calzaghe, a southpaw,
Punch out of there.
power punch is closer to the champion. Like right there.
You know what, I thought the Brewer's much more effective with that left hook than he was with the straight right hand in the first round. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
Calzaghe, who punches in bunches, lots of combinations. Here's a left hand to the jaw by Calzaghe, and then a left uppercut from the chin. The Brewer stands right in there.
Watch your heads.
They just go toe to toe. That was blocked, that left hook by Calzaghe, by the arm of Brewer. Boy, there just hasn't been much let up.
For super middleweights, this is a pace that I don't think either of them can maintain for 12 rounds. It's just too many punches and too many hard punches. The attrition factor will set in fast.
Calzaghe with a big right hand to the jaw, and now he opens up. He's got Brewer in trouble.
Right, good punch, I got it.
He hurt Brewer, but Brewer moved his head and got out of harm's way pretty well.
He had Brewer buckled momentarily. He rocked him, but Brewer with great courage.
And he was smart there, used his head, and he moved his head, and he got out of harm's way.
He withstood that fusillade from Calzaghe.
Punch out of there. Get out of there. Watch your heads.
There's another uppercut to the jaw. Brewer stays up. He's in trouble again. He was off balance. He hangs in there. A rough round for the Philadelphian.
Loading up a little too much, starting to miss. And he's getting caught in the way back with a counterpunch by Calzaghe.
Quick, don't punch, I got it.
Which is where he's doing most of the damage.
Good job.
Yeah, left wasn't as solid as Calzaghe would like. Straight right hand eaten by Calzaghe, but not much behind it. He's taking a lot of steam out of Brewer.
Time.
Big round for the champion.
Move your head, bro. You standing too much in front of him. You let him come down the pipe with the straight left. You gotta step around to your left, Hatchet. You can't be in front of him. You gotta keep stepping around to your left and throw the overhand right. You gotta throw your overhand right. You gotta keep on doing what we were doing in the gym. You gotta do it. Yeah,
Watch
Hatchet.
Calzaghe rock Brewer. There's the right hook in the left hand. And you see Brewer hesitates and he gets hit with another combination of rights and lefts. 3, 4, 5, 6 punches. And he starts to bob and weave to save himself. He was in trouble. You notice Calzaghe does not hesitate once he hurts it. Different angle, same sequence. He gets the right hook in, lands flush and left uppercut. And then he just keeps going. He tees off. Once he hurts him, he keeps firing. He follows up. Not one and done, but 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Round 3 scheduled for 12. We'll see how Brewer reacts, and if Calzaghe jumps right on him to see if Brewer is all right after that wild second round. Brewer took a lot of punishment, and he eats another couple of left hands. Calzaghe goes to town again, and Brewer talks to him.
See, something that Calzaghe does that's deceiving is he'll throw a couple of pity-pat real quick punches just to get your hands busy and then load up on the next two and really hurt you.
Don't punch.
Very
No,
effective, very smart.
Let's go.
The supremely confident southpaw, Joe Calzaghe, continues to have his way, pushing Brewer's head back.
We heard Brewer's trainer, his corner, Bobby Boogaloo Watts, tell him you can't leave your head just sitting there stationary for him to hit it. You got to move it, step to the side, and come back. Step out the side, give him angles. Brewer just coming straight at him, though, not using too many angles.
Brewer with a few answers now, but Calzaghe comes firing back. Off the top of the head, a right hand by Calzaghe. That stunned Brewer. And they continue to go at it.
Some nice body work there by Brewer. I'm wondering myself if he's prepared for this type of pace, and maybe he's anticipated that Calzaghe is not.
Nearly a low blow by Calzaghe, getting cautioned by Mark Nelson. You mentioned Boogaloo Watts, the trainer for Brewer, beat marvelous Marvin Hagler in 1976, but then crushed in the rematch by Hagler. A stylish Philadelphia middleweight in his day. Nice left cross to the jaw, and then a combination to the head by Calzaghe, who continues to pour it on. And fighting going backwards successfully.
Keep him up, Charles.
Calzaghe.
Keep him up.
Body.
A nice hook there again by Charles Brewer, but not enough. Calzaghe throwing more punches.
Calzaghe answering back with beautiful counter punching. Left hooks to the head.
there. Watch your heads, guys.
Brewer just winding up and wailing.
Just a split second slower is Brewer than Calzaghe, and it's costing him on a lot of these exchanges to come in second place.
An incredible pace as we approach the final 20 seconds of round 3. It must feel like the 10th for Brewer already. Wears on the backs of his trunks. 2 for Umam. I remember, I think it said 1 for Umam when he fought Antoine Eccles. I know he's going for his second world title. He's a former IBF super middleweight champ. Maybe that's what that means. They're both bopping off the head.
Time!
Amazing action.
Bring them right back, Hatchet. Bang that body, you right there, man. Bang them kidney shots, man. Get them kidney shots going, Hatchet. Bring them right here and bring them up the middle. You gotta keep working, so you gotta keep your hands going, Hatchet. Then you pressing them, but just don't walk in. Don't just walk straight in. Move your head, Hatchet. Don't go straight in because he just, look, then he do it up with this shit. Okay, you want to just tap him, then he coming over with the straight left.
Brewer getting shots flush on the ear, his jaw, right hooks, and straight left hands. Just as his trainer, Bobby Watts, was telling him, you're coming straight up the middle. You're not giving him anything to look for. You're right there for him, and he's got to work underneath and step around. He can't come straight in like that. Calzaghe's too fast and far too active.
At this pace, with this many punches thrown, it's going to be very surprising if this reaches the distance. Brewer said the winner will be whoever wants it the most.
I got it. That's okay.
Whoever has the strongest will to win. And right now, he's just trying to hang in there and break the spirit of the champion, Joe Calzaghe. Round 4 scheduled for 12. Oh, that just pushed Brewer back.
Actually, I don't think that was as much the punch as it was the step on his foot and hit him.
Yep. But Calzaghe coming on, throwing everything at Brewer.
Get the heads out of there.
Oh, what a fans fight.
This is definitely a fight fans fight. There's nothing but bad blood here.
Brewer did say that he didn't think Calzaghe hit very hard. I wonder if he'd rethink that now.
I'm sure he's going to fess up afterwards, say that Calzaghe did stagger him sometimes, and some of those punches had to hurt, or his legs wouldn't be doing Leon Earl.
And so much for that level of opposition of Calzaghe that Brewer questioned.
The thing about Calzaghe is he underestimated his speed, and speed times mass, as I always say, generates that destructive power. And Calzaghe's very quick. He's not a one-punch knockout artist, but he's quick and crisp, and he will get your attention with those combinations.
A cumulative effect, as they say, can do wonders. Particularly for Calzaghe. Peppering with the jab now, Calzaghe to the nose. Brewer whacking to the midsection on the inside. And then he goes upstairs. Both showing their toughness. Brewer with a left uppercut to the jaw. He's got Calzaghe on the ropes. But Calzaghe never really in danger. Calzaghe all over Brewer. What's holding Brewer up? Brewer looks like he's ready to go, but he continues to fight.
Brewer's all on right now. This is just the will to stay up and stand.
What an incredible display of guts by Brewer.
Get out of there.
He's getting destroyed. He stays on his feet.
And once again, that speed factor may be underestimated by Brewer. Calzaghe's getting there first, and he's getting there better.
Boy, Brewer's got to be getting the respect of Calzaghe here, no question.
Get out.
A stirring first 4 rounds.
Freak.
No overhand left,
Hatchet, you're throwing a straight right hand down, man. You got to come around, Hatchet. You got to roll your body. You're too straight up. You're too straight up. You're too straight up, son. Son, look, when you finish, Hatchet, roll your body. You're too straight up. You're walking in straight up. Move. You're giving a lot of movement.
We're going to watch the little slip here. Calzaghe comes in and just sort of see the feet. Right foot stepped on the left foot. Southpaw versus orthodox. The Calzaghe here with a lead left. It's sort of an overhand slap a little bit. Right there. Not real hard, but point getter. And continually in the face, Charles Brewer. And here again, Brewer's coming forward, giving him a squared off target, not giving him angles, walking straight in. Charles does not get out of the way of any of those punches. He gets hip flustered almost every one of them.
Brewer was standing an inordinate amount of punishment as we enter round 5, scheduled for 12 for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. The champion, the Southpaw, Calzaghe, the hometown hero in the black. Brewer, the challenger from Philadelphia, in the white with red trim. Brewer ate a lot of punches in the last round, but never went down. Good right combination upstairs by Calzaghe. Calzaghe having his way. Again, through the defense. Now to the body. And now a left hook to the chin by Calzaghe. Partially blocked.
Calzaghe's speed being the biggest factor in this fight right now.
And he got through with a straight left hand to the head.
The speed and his accuracy are making this fight to be his round after round.
Calzaghe having a field day. Brewer's been down, as he puts it, a handful of times. Calzaghe never down in his career. Calzaghe, who averages about 4 rounds into round 5.
You know, as you start absorbing more and more punishment, your ability to give out punishment becomes less and less because your body is absorbing all that pain and punishment on its own. Not only does the fatigue factor set in, but also that pain being absorbed and the punishment being absorbed will lessen your ability to put out.
I'll tell you what, Brewer must be in phenomenal condition to be withstanding this kind of punishment. Round after round.
We have slowed down significantly this round, Steve.
Absolutely. Let's see if Calzaghe can take advantage. Wailing to the body. Now upstairs, Calzaghe. Well, he's democratic. Oh, a whacking left cross to the head by Calzaghe. You can hear that in the back row. Over 5,000 strong cheering on their champion in the black trunk.
I got it. All right.
I'm sure some wondering what's holding Brewer up. The hatchet with a wild swing and a miss. Another wild miss.
Now you're starting to load up, get a little tired, you start loading up, you start really having the fatigue factor set in. You load up and start missing, that will really caught you.
Fatigue and frustration. He just walked into a flurry. Did Brewer. Calzaghe coming at him from all angles.
Get off his neck.
See, Brewer has the reach, 8-inch reach advantage for each hand, so he can get there first, but he's not quick enough to get there first against Calzaghe. He's imploring and totally different.
Here goes Calzaghe. Brewer with a triple blood.
No, I got it.
From the right nostril.
Time.
Brewer happy to hear that thing.
No. Yeah, Hatchet, you got to use the jab, man. You can't walk him down. You got to use the jab. You got to use the jab, Hatchet. Okay, Sid.
How's it going, Charles?
You got to use the jab, Bo.
Start showing me some more, okay?
Okay, Hatchet, we don't want him to stop it, Bo. We don't want him to stop it, Hatchet. You got to use that jab, man. You got to have the balance, Hatchet.
Brewer, being a stationary target, gets in trouble again. Comes walking straight in. There, sticks his head straight up in the air. Calzaghe takes off with right hand. Not big hard punches, but again, attrition. He just wears you down. Another angle, there's the right hand. Pivots him, hits him with the right hook to the jaw and temple area. Now, Brewer does his best to get out of the way. He does well, but he can't even win around this way.
You heard Bobby Boogaloo Watts in the corner of Brewer say, hey, you can't walk him down. You got to use the jab. And don't forget, the referee, Mark Nelson, told Brewer, you got to pick it up, Charles.
Punch out.
Nelson watching Brewer very closely now.
No, I got it.
There's a different look in Charles Brewer's eyes right now. One of frustration and almost defeat. I know his heart's in this, and he wants this bad, but he is getting met at every corner.
Punch out.
Brewer does not have the answers for anything that Calzaghe's doing.
He does have that look of resignation, but showing tremendous heart.
He's got to work him behind the jab. He has a longer jab, a pretty quick jab, and a pretty good jab. But he's just walking, as Bobby Watts said, just walking him down. Calzaghe's too fast for this.
And he's trying to fight Calzaghe's fight. He's got to go back to the fundamentals, back to boxing, back to style.
Freak! I got it.
Right now, he's a human ragdoll. And he's flailing away, missing, and Calzaghe's just doing a number on the top of his head. Straight right hand by Brewer, but it missed.
And you notice that the significance of the punch of Brewer has completely lessened. Severely less in numbers and in power.
He's flat tired and worn out from all the punishment that Calzaghe has dished out. Calzaghe just walked into a straight right hand and it pushed his head back momentarily.
I got it.
But no left hook to follow it. No real power on that right hand.
Wild swing and a miss on a left hook try by Brewer. Comes through with the left hand there, but it's blocked by the right glove of Calzaghe.
There's a better right hand by Brewer, picking up the steam on some of these shots.
Get off his head. There you go, Charles.
Brewer may be feeling, if I can just get one or two punches in now, if I can connect, if I can get this guy's attention, maybe I can turn the tide somewhat.
He's going to need more than one or two, and he's going to need to do it working in behind the jab. Calzaghe's reflexes are pretty good. They're almost as quick as his hand speed. He reacts well offensively and defensively.
And the lefty sets up beautiful again. Getting through. They trade punches. What an exchange here, but it's all Calzaghe.
Joe caught a couple of pretty good solid shots too and show no ill effects from him.
But Calzaghe's punches a lot harder. And several of his got in as well.
I tried to box up round, you went the opposite. Why is it different? Why do you keep a long jab? Why do you break the discipline? Alright? Stick with what I tell you to do. Alright? I kick fucking long. Keep it long, the left hand, and then work behind what he does. Don't let him come into work.
This is what we mean by one and done. You watch the straight right hand and nothing to come behind it. No counter punches, no follow-up punches, no combinations. Even after Calzaghe hits him, he doesn't counter back. And here's Calzaghe with a 4 or 5 punch combination and comes back with 2 or 3 more. Even though Brewer is firing, Calzaghe's still firing back. There was 10 or 12 punches unleashed in that sequence. That's why Calzaghe's winning this fight so handily.
Gotta get off, son.
Bobby, I think it's a moot point, but how do you have it halfway?
6-zip. I can't really come and give a round to Brewer. He's fought some great moments in certain rounds, but not one entire round.
Brewer came out winging, but no damage. Brewer better start turning this real fast. When he watched the replay of his fight with Eccles, he said, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? I wonder if he'd say that again about his performance tonight.
It's round 7. Notice who's going forward now. The champion, Joe Calzaghe, not Charles Brewer. A telltale sign of something for sure.
Yeah, Calzaghe just continues to flail away. Got him with a straight left to the head there. Brewer's in trouble again. In his own corner.
Speed and accuracy. He underestimated his speed. He underestimated his endurance. And he definitely underestimated his power, I'm sure of it.
No question. by the comments he was making in the days and weeks leading up to this fight. He may have been taking Calzaghe a little too lightly, but I don't know how you can do that. A lot of that stuff, of course, is just silly hype, but if he really believed it, forget about it. He had to know that this guy's got talent, Calzaghe, and he hits hard. He's only fooling himself if he thinks otherwise. And here goes Calzaghe again.
See, now what's happening is Calzaghe is working at will. He pot-shotting Brewer. Brewer's not making Calzaghe worry about anything coming back. He can do what he wants when he wants. The rest when he wants, fire.
And if this continues, Calzaghe almost certainly putting himself on the boxing map with this one after struggling for recognition. But he really wants Bernard Hopkins or Roy Jones. Should he get by Charles Brewer, and it's looking better every second.
Calzaghe is a very difficult style to look good against from anyone. That was the best combination of the entire round for Brewer, right hand and left hook, but that's it. And he's done.
He didn't follow it up with anything. He's got to be tired. He's obviously frustrated.
2 minutes and change. It's been all Joe Calzaghe. One combination will not win the round.
He did have to scramble and lose 2 pounds quickly yesterday.
I got it. No, it's okay.
Brewer.
Punch out of there.
Brewer with a big left hand there. It got Calzaghe's attention.
He sure did. Calzaghe covering up well.
Brewer coming on with a left uppercut.
He staggered Calzaghe.
Time!
Big finish by the hatchet. Trying to chop Calzaghe down at the belt.
You heard Calzaghe with that uppercut, Steve.
I tell you what, son. Are you ready for your nest? Are you ready to have a go? What's happening, Joe? You give me that what? You give me what? What round is this?
Round 8.
Round 8, coming up. Have you got 5 rounds in? Yeah, man. Come on then, let's see the fucking thing. Right? Are you ready, Joe? Are you with me now?
He's old man, you Joe. He's old man.
Huh?
The only sign of the chink in the armor, left uppercut by Brewer with his back to us. He hits him with a couple of decent shots, but nothing really serious. Nice left hook on the inside. Watch this uppercut, though. Underneath, he hits him with an uppercut that really rocks his head and staggers him. As we follow the sequence. That left hook was the one that first started. But there's another punch on the tail end of this, that right under there, that really hurts Calzaghe. You see his legs get a little funny.
Let's see where this takes Charles Brewer as we enter round number 8.
It's interesting, in Calzaghe's corner, they said you have 5 more rounds in you. And I thought to myself, if he doesn't, you know, he's been winning every round. All he's got to do basically is stand for the next 5.
Pretty much. And stay out of the way of those Brewer punches. Now he's keeping Brewer at bay, keeping his distance, fighting more on the outside, Calzaghe. And he gets Brewer coming in with a left hand.
Get off his neck.
The best left hook that Brewer's landed in a while, too, like the last round. Just looking to get one of those shots in. Possibility Calzaghe maybe use up a little too much energy in dominating those first 7 rounds. Who knows?
Brewer perhaps hoping that Calzaghe has preached himself out over the first 7+ rounds.
I've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, it's okay.
Well, again, we saw what happened last Saturday night in West Virginia when David Tua was behind the entire night against Oquendo and then leveled Oquendo in the 9th round. Oquendo refused to go down, actually, but he was all over him. And the fight was stopped.
Nice sharp combinations by Calzaghe.
Look at these shots. Beautiful hand speed by Calzaghe.
Punch out. Get out of there.
Brewer holding and leaning now. Calzaghe in tremendous shape.
Get off his neck.
stuff from Calzaghe. Busy, active, no let up.
Very accurate, too, as quickly as punches, but one of the most important things about that is they land where they're meant to go.
I got it.
Brewer's punch is not having that much effect. The left hook to the temple.
So you notice in that sequence, Calzaghe threw 3, then Brewer threw 2, then Calzaghe threw 3 more. He starts and he finishes.
Look at the volume of punches, the high work rate by Calzaghe. Left hand partially blocked, wasn't solid.
Work out of there.
As we head for the bell, round 8.
I got it. Okay.
Well, the countdown continues for Lewis versus Tyson as we close in on this highly anticipated spectacle. It's just 49 days to the long-awaited meeting of Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson for the World Heavyweight Championship. This fight will be available only on pay-per-view, live from Memphis, Tennessee on June 8th. So mark your calendars, that's June 8th, as these two bitter rivals meet in what figures to be the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing history, only on pay-per-view.
Okay? Now catch it. Now you listen to what I say. Now you keep doing that, okay? Now this is the only way you're going to do it. Chop the right hand right down the middle. Okay? Here you go.
Brewer has fought into the 9th round 6 times. He goes 5-3 with just 1 knockout. Calzaghe 6-0 in fights that have gone into the 9th. Scheduled for 12 for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship, it has been all Joe Calzaghe, wearing the black trunks, the southpaw from right here in Wales. Brewer has taken a lot of punishment. To his credit, he has never gone down. A guy with a reputation of having a weak chin. Calzaghe coming forward. Brewer again in difficulty.
Brewer almost looks like in his eyes like a disinterested look. Steve, I can understand it.
Again, a look of resignation in the eyes of Charles Brewer. He's going for the home run punch now, Brewer.
I don't think he really has the choice. If something doesn't happen real soon, this fight will be over and he will have lost this great opportunity.
Yep. Mark Nelson, the third man, continues to keep a very close eye on Charles Brewer.
Okay.
But Brewer is offering back. So it's tough to stop it.
It's all right.
Calzaghe has looked tremendous here tonight. On both ends of the floor, as they say, offensively and defensively.
I got it. Here we go.
He has shown his hand speed, his accuracy, and his power. He has been able to put Brewer down, though. But that peppering jab is so annoying. Like there.
He stepped around nicely, too. He's given angles to Brewer. He's made him work, made him look for him, made him miss a lot, and hammered him.
Another barrage by Calzaghe.
I got it. All right.
Calzaghe picking his spots, finds the openings.
I got it.
There was a terrific left hook to the body by Brewer, but again, he's one and done. He's not going to work. And now as they're both getting tired, when they're getting close like that, all Calzaghe has to do is tie him up.
Brewer out of gas from all the punishment. He's taking a lot of shots to the body and to the head. He just looks worn out, Brewer.
I got it.
There's that beautiful jab again by Calzaghe with the right hand.
There you go. Time. glove. Get the tape here.
You're walking in on him. You're walking in on him. Here goes Sid.
You have to do this. I need to work in his face.
Okay, here you go. You got to get off, Hatchet. You're walking in. You cannot walk in, Hatchet. You got to move. You're not. Hatchet.
You've got boxing skills. Use the violence. All right? Stick the jab. Move away. Jab. Come up to straight leg. What's fucking ass the bloody boxing? He wants to tear up. That's the only way to get to you. All right? Come on. That's right, Joe. You're lovely. This is for you. Pass on his nose. Pass on his nose. Pass on his nose.
Just seems like those instructions in the Brewer corner are futile. Brewer knows what he has to do, but he just can't do it. Calzaghe knows what he has to do, and he's doing it.
Don't much.
See, it's very easy to draw it
Keep
up
your
on
head
paper.
up.
This is how you
It's all
win.
right.
This is
Good
how
job.
you win. This is what you do. But then doing it while the other man's trying to implement his style, his strategy, that's a whole new ballgame.
What does Brewer have left? A right hand. That's the one.
That was the one that Boogaloo Watts has been telling him to throw straight down the middle. Stop looping it. Get it straight. That one landed well, but Calzaghe's showing a good chin.
I got it. That's all right.
He's never been down. 32-0, 27 knockouts. Joe Calzaghe. Brewer 37-8, 26 knockouts. Calzaghe 10-0 in world title bouts with 6 knockouts. Brewer 4-2 with 3 knockouts in championship fights.
Don't hold his neck.
Well, if this goes to the judges' cards, you know one thing.
I got it.
Charles Brewer's not going to get jobs tonight.
No, that won't be necessary.
It's okay.
But it may be at least a moral victory, but nobody likes moral victories in sports.
Nah.
Work out of there.
Heard that many times before. Doesn't mean anything.
Punch out.
Again, Calzaghe has his way on the inside. All over Brewer. Pounding away. But Brewer refuses to go down. Showing tremendous heart, if nothing else.
I think Charles Brewer's plan backfired a little bit. I don't think he expected as good a movement from Joe Calzaghe, as good a counterpunching or a strength or speed. I think he think he misjudged him.
Another flurry by Calzaghe, and a lot of those punches getting in there. No knockdowns, no cuts.
I got it.
As we approach the final 20 seconds of the 10th round, scheduled for 12.
Punch out. Get your hand out of there. That's all right. There you go. Work out of there. Time. 2 rounds.
Right? You don't need to be some shots away, okay? Keep the shots a bit longer, right? You'll be more successful, right? You're starting to big one. Get him through.
As we go inside the ropes with Bobby Chase.
We'll see time after time, round after round, Calzaghe throwing 4, 5, and 6 punches at a time because he's not loading up. And he's also moving. He's not giving Charles Brewer something to hit, punching and get out of the way. Not loading up the shot. Quick, speed, accurate. Charles Brewer, on the other hand, loading up, missing big shots. See, hits a shot, hit, bang, bang, in and out, bing, in and out. Very quick, using his speed, using his agility, not loading up, making the shots be heavy or tiresome.
This is it, son, please.
Well, Brewer's been past 10 rounds 6 times. He's 4-2 as we hit the championship rounds. Round 11. Calzaghe has fought into the championship rounds 4 times, winning all 4 by decision. Do you have Calzaghe winning every single round?
I really can't find a round that could give to Charles Brewer as much as I'd like to. He's fought a gallant fight. He's shown a lot of bravery, a lot of heart, a lot of determination. He's clearly shown me he wants it bad, but he just doesn't have what it takes today to take it from Joe Calzaghe.
And as you pointed out, perhaps underestimating the overall skills of Joe Calzaghe. You recall before the fight, that he said.
Early in the fight, in the first 4 rounds, a couple of rounds that he started out work Calzaghe. Calzaghe staggered him, and as soon as that happens, that tips the round back because your inability to take a punch sometimes is held against you. When you get wobbled, you lose points.
I got it.
I'm sure many folks here in the crowd here at the CIA, as they call it, the Cardiff International Arena, thought Brewer was about ready to go early in the fight, but he hung in there.
Don't hold, Joe.
Calzaghe looks as fresh now as he looked in the first round.
So you notice he hit Brewer on the way in, spun Brewer around and hit him on the way out. Again, spinning him to the right, turning him, and hitting. Brewer doesn't have the answers for him. He's not stepping, he's not cutting Calzaghe off. The right hand's not coming down the middle, and when he does, it's one at a time.
To this point, Joe Calzaghe rising to the occasion in tremendous shape. Still bouncing around like it's early in the fight here in round 11. And still throwing a lot of punches and still landing. And he's got some pop in those punches. Even this deep into the fight. Again, setting up that nice left with the right jab is Calzaghe. Another combination to the head. What a work rate all night long by the champion.
Watch your hands, guys. Come on.
Being smart, he's not loading up, he's firing quickly, accurately, stepping off, and doing it again.
And he also knows now that he can take risks. He's not being hurt by Charles Brewer's punches, so he can get inside, pretty much do whatever he wants. It's not Charles in charge. It's Joe in charge.
Especially now, Brewer has to work his way in with hands firing, because if they get close enough to touch, Calzaghe's not just going to sit with him like they did earlier. He's just going to tie him up. He just needs to last another round and a half. That's it.
The champion just too fast. Just too fast, too quick. All over Brewer again. Pretty much doing whatever he wants.
Last round, bro, you gotta go for broke. You gotta go for broke. Gotta put everything, man. Chill up. You can't lose your balance. Gotta go for broke, baby. Gotta go for broke. Bring them punches up, Hatchet. You gotta bring them up in the inside. When you get inside, Hatchet, you got to
Charles,
let
you
your
right?
hands go.
Last round, touch gloves.
Okay, Hatchet, you gotta go for broke, son. You gotta punch. You gotta get off. Sorry, Sid.
Come on, chill. Hear me now? Get me! Get me! Get me! Get me!
There is no question Charles Brewer needs a knockout to win this fight. And you heard Bobby Boogaloo Watts say, you got to throw it all out there now, son. They touch for the 12th and final round for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. Incredible pace to this fight, but what a job by the champion, Joe Calzaghe, all night long. He has had Brewer in his hip pocket.
I got it. Good job. Here we go.
Brewer needs a knockout. He's got to do it in dramatic fashion.
So you notice right there, Brewer came in with his hands down, looking to load up. Well, as soon as they got close, Calzaghe ties him up.
Come on, guys.
He's got to work with his hands going on the way in. There's no way around it.
Well, Calzaghe should just be safe.
I got it. No.
Don't do anything careless. Brewer's latest knockout came in round 10 against England's Harold Graham. He needs more late heroics here. As the crowd urges on Calzaghe.
punches, maybe 12. That's just not going for
Work out of there.
Halfway point of round 12. All Brewer has to do, right, is knock him out. All Calzaghe has to do is stay away.
I'll take the stay away gun.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's what Joe is doing right now. Wild swing and a miss by Brewer. He telegraphed that one. We approach the final minute.
Punch out of there.
Calzaghe,
I got it.
complete command, has never been in trouble. Brewer's been in trouble on several occasions, but never went down. To reiterate, Brewer losing just about every round, but showing heart.
Showed a tremendous amount of heart, a lot of determination, and he showed that he came here prepared to fight, but he underestimated, I still believe he underestimated the speed and the pop and the punches of Calzaghe.
Look at this. Calzaghe, despite being way ahead, throwing everything at Brewer. He wants to knock them out. It's dangerous, but he doesn't care. He wants to please the hometown crowd. He continues to go right at Brewer.
I got it.
Even though he's got a whopping lead.
This one's all but over, Steve. Put it in the books.
Well, that's how confident the champion is. Final seconds of the fight. That's going to do it. Joe Calzaghe's wife enjoying the action. Calzaghe plants a kiss. Good show sportsmanship on the face of Charles Brewer. He was planting a lot on the face of Brewer all night.
He got kissed in a different way, though.
Yeah. Well, there is absolutely no question as to what the outcome will be here. A big night for hometowner Joe Calzaghe, a rough one for Philadelphian Charles Brewer. And the embrace. And I think Charles Brewer will be singing a different tune about Joe Calzaghe after this one. He's going to show some respect now after disrespecting Calzaghe before the fight.
Bit of a fight, that wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure his opinion of Calzaghe has changed dramatically.
Oh, yes. Without question. Well, Calzaghe not able to end it within 5 as he predicted, but he'll win convincingly.
And the furious finish, Calzaghe still looking to impress and maybe get the knockout late in the last round. A little bit of a slip combined in there made it look worse for Charles Brewer, but he got tagged good. He got tattooed pretty well, and there you see him get with the left hand. That was probably the best punch of the combination, and literally reverse going for broke. It's Calzaghe going for broke just to get Brewer out of there. So now to look at it from a different angle. Brewer, to his credit, giving it all he has, but that left hand right there hurt him, as well as that little bit of a slip, making it look worse. But Calzaghe all over him and very accurate. Once again, quick and on the money. His punch is landing, Brewer's not.
Perhaps a complete shutout. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Roy Francis scores the bout 117 to 112. Judge Robin Dolpierre scores the bout 118 to 111. Chuck Ciampa scores the bout 119 to 109. All three in favor of the winner and still champion, Joe Calzaghe.
Sounds reasonable to me, Steve. I couldn't give 3 rounds to Brewer, but I gave him 1.
A decisive victory for Joe Calzaghe. The fans salute him. I'll go along with Las Vegas' Chuck Ciampa, who had it the most accurate, I thought.
119, 109. Yeah, 1 round. The 11th round, thought Brewer might have snuck out.
So, Bobby, what do you think? Was it impressive enough to put Calzaghe on boxing's world map?
Well, He's on the map already, being an undefeated world champion, and with some convincing performances, he's certainly on the map. But as far as, like we said before, launched, he still needs to be the big name. Charles Brewer coming here with 8 losses, stopped by fighters that are considered lesser talented than Joe Calzaghe. So what does that say? I'm not sure.
Well, he remains undefeated, makes his 10th successful defense of the title, going to 33-0 now. 11-0 in world title fights, 11-0 in Cardiff. Brewer falls to 37-9. Well, what's in the immediate future for Calzaghe? Will his next fight be in the United States? There's talk of Calzaghe fighting WBO 160-pound champ Harry Simon. Calzaghe has mentioned undisputed middleweight champ. I see your
I'd like to see that fight. Yeah, I'd like to see him and Simon. I like him to beat Simon.
There's talk of Calzaghe Hopkins or Roy Jones. Let's review the judges' scores again. Pretty near a shutout, as Chuck Giampa had it.
Yeah, I think Chuck Giampa had it the most accurate. 117 to 112 is a 5-point difference in a 12-round fight. It's like 8-3-1. Hard to give 3 rounds to our boy here, Brewer.
All right, so a unanimous decision for Joe Calzaghe. Retains his WBO super middleweight crown, which he has had since 1997. We've got a very game but beaten Charles the Hatchet Brewer standing by with our John Rawling.
Charles, that was a tremendous fight. You weren't too complimentary about Joe Calzaghe in the run-up to this. What do you think now?
Well, I think that he performed well this evening, and he's a champion, and he fought like a champion. He did what he came to do.
And what about your own performance? Because you really went in there and you tried to match fire with fire, as you said you would.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said before, we both have aggressive styles. We both are fighters that like to come forward. And maybe it just was that this evening I was a bit slow on my offense, and he beat me to the punch a couple of times. But it was a good fight, very good fight.
There was so much excitement surrounding this fight. The crowd really hyped up Joe Calzaghe. Was that a factor?
No, like I said before, to me this is business as usual. This is my 46th fight as a professional. I've been in this position many a times before in venues that are larger than this, much larger crowds. So the hometown crowd advantage didn't bother me at all.
In the run-up to the fight, you had to lose a bit of weight, 1.75 pounds over at the weigh-in. Was that a factor? Were your preparations right?
No, that wasn't a factor at all. Maybe it's something that goes on in the UK. They make a big deal out of it, but in the States, this happens quite frequently. And not to say the fighters don't come to fights unprepared, but this is something that happens, and it had no effect on me this evening, not at all.
Over 700 punches Calzaghe threw. You threw over 600. Have you ever been in a fight as grueling as that one?
Yeah, I would say on my way up to the top. I went through some true battles coming through the legendary Blue Horizon in Philadelphia. I've had my share of gym wars coming up through Philadelphia.
Charles, I know you're a loser tonight, but nevertheless, that was a phenomenal performance. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, John, thank you very much. And obviously, understandably disappointed Charles the Hatchet Brewer, who really did try to fight fire with fire and probably went about it the wrong way here tonight. And as you said, underestimated Joe Calzaghe, who is standing alongside our John Rawling right now. John?
Joe, congratulations. That was a phenomenal performance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Joe. Very, very tough fight. Who said Charles Brewer? I was under some illusion that Charles Brewer couldn't take a shot, but believe me, he took some excellent punches here tonight. And there's a lot of fighters who went down from them in combinations, and he come back, hit me hard. Tonight I showed heart, I showed obviously my resilience, my chin, and my stamina, and my will to remain undefeated champion of the world.
There was a little bit of perhaps disrespect from Charles Brewer coming into this fight. Did that hype you up? Did that psych you up and make you want to really prove a point?
No, not really, because basically I know what I've got. I'll prove it in the ring. You know, he says it all out there. I knew I was going to win. I knew I was going to win. I thought I was going to knock him out. He done well to go the distance. You know, he fought courageously. And basically, I knew tonight I was going to show him I'm the real deal. I'm the #1 in the world. I proved it tonight. As far as I'm concerned, Charles Brewer was #2 in the world. But like I said all along, I'm #1.
He came in and really gave you a test, didn't he?
He did. He caught me some good shots. But in the middle rounds, I started to get a bit lazy. But remember, I've only done 4 rounds over the last 12 months. A lot of it, no disrespect to my last two opponents, but they weren't the calibre, obviously, of Charles Brewer. So it was a bit of ring rust there. Obviously, what I'd like to do now is obviously keep busy, hopefully get in the ring now 3 months' time, keep active.
Now, you want to be more active, presumably. Will you be actually getting in that ring quickly and maybe getting over to America to convince the fight public over there in the States?
Well, this is Mr. Frank Warren, promoter manager, who can obviously answer that question for you.
Well, Frank?
Well, obviously, we're looking at a date in August. We're thinking about August 17th. That's a date that's been mentioned. And, of course, Joe's got to remain active. That's one of the problems he's had, is that, he's been fighting, he's had injuries, and as a result of that, he's been, at times not getting the rounds under his belt. But I think that was good for him tonight, to get some distance under his belt. Plus, the guy come to fight. He wasn't an opponent that wanted to sit on the floor. I mean, it was, full credit to Charles Brewer. He came, he seized opportunity and tried to take it. But I think Joe's the best around at the moment. And what I'm looking to do now is to make the big fight for him. And the big fight I'd like to make is with Bernard Hopkins. We're speaking to Don King, and Bernard Hopkins said he wanted to fight personally to me. So hopefully we can get that done.
Well, Joe Calzaghe versus Bernard Hopkins would be some fight. And well done again tonight, Joe. Well done. Steve.
Thanks very much.